So this is faceted. So working with, that's not going to work out. Let's reduce that. Generate, decimate, collapse 0.02, no 0.2. That is pretty bad. Yeah, it's not working out too good. Yeah. All right, let's see what that does. I'm not even sure it's going to upload. Shade smooth. Let's see if that does anything better. These look like they split vertices. I'm going to do all this work and find out I can't upload it. So I'm gonna do a merge though. Let's see, edit. I'm gonna apply this. How do you do that? Apply. Can apply in edit mode probably. Apply. And edit. Make sure everything's selected. I want to make sure I'm in. Yeah. So edge, face, mesh. Cleanup. Where's cleanup? Here it is. Cleanup. Merge by distance, and I'll just keep the default here, which is fine. And go back to object. See if it did anything. Yeah, it did something. Ooh, it's ugly. Well, I'm not using this myself. I'm just trying to make it possible to upload without having to wait 20 minutes. So I'm not going to care about this. Anybody using it is going to want to do a better job. The generator that made this is, well, I know how they did this, but with these automated AI tools today, you get garbage like this. So whatever. I'm going to key the rest pose, and let's see where the rest pose lies by putting into edit mode. So it's facing the correct direction for us in rest pose, which means it's been transformed on this frame. Let's find out what frames we have to work with. I don't see any keys here, so the object itself isn't animated, so that saves us a headache, which we could fix in here with clean motion. Remove object animation, but it's not a problem right now. I'm going to go into pose, select all the joints. I'm going to move all these keys over, make sure that they are selected. They are yellow, so I'm going to hit M, or G rather. That's a different application. Now I have an empty spot for my reference frame. Alt R and Alt G, because I want to make sure it's not translated. Now I can put a key here. Let's get a key set. I'm just going to do them all. We don't really care about scale, but that's my process. Now I have a reference frame, and I'm going to map these bones. Go back into Object. Turn this up a little bit. Let me set the stage is not engaged. I'm going to hide the mesh. I'm going to start mapping the bones. I don't know what that is. It's not a head bone, is it? I don't think so. I think we have head and neck here, and I'll map them that way anyway. So this is the skull. We don't want to use that. We want to use the head bone, which is the next one. So select that by single clicking. Select that by single clicking, and map these bones. And do the neck. Now let's see, does the spine have too many bones? 1, 2, 3. It definitely looks like it has too many bones. I'm going to assume this is the chest, so we'll just map these. And the character converter will take care of reassembling the weights so that these missing joints don't mean anything. And map these, and then that's going to be the pelvis, of course. And then how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're not going to map the toe because there's no room for that. Yeah, map them. Yeah, we went the wrong direction, didn't we? I could just unmap that wrong direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah. And then the arms, let's count our arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That works. I think that's it. I don't know what this thing does. Let's get the mesh back and animate, see what that does. It might just be a controller or leftover from a controller, so that's not going to matter, I think. We set the stage here, and I'm just going to save the file. And then the map will save with it. You can save the map like this if you want to. So I'm going to export the mesh and the animation. So let me just do that now. You can select any part of the avatar, it doesn't really matter. And I'll use the character converter. I want to make a copy because it will make a copy of everything, and then select everything that's copied after the conversion. So now there's two of these, and I can export the mesh from the copy, and when it's done, I can just delete what's selected, and it's done now. So you'll see that there's a copy here, and I can just delete that, and it doesn't damage that. So use make copy. Now the reason why it's not enabled by default is because I worry people will continue to make copies and they won't know what's going on. If I do too much in the background, if I do that for you, you won't get a sense of what's really going on. So some of this could be a struggle, but it's a learning curve. So character tools, I need to retarget, and I need glue because this is a custom mesh, and I want this animation to be associated with a mesh. So, and it's not an SL really. It's not really an SL mesh, so I'm going to use glue. You can try without glue. If you want to use this animation on your avatar, you wouldn't use glue, but we're using it on a special avatar that was designed for. So we're going to do that. And let's see, if I click action, it gives us a proxy skeleton to export the mesh from, and then keep that there, keep that selected. We go to animation, export properties, and I don't want to export the first. I don't want to loop the first frame, so I'm going to loop at frame 2 right there. I think that makes the most sense. Otherwise you'll keep seeing this T-pose during each start. I don't think this is a complete animation anyway, so it's gonna be glitchy. But if it were a complete animation and the end part started at the beginning part, then it would look smooth. But anyway, that's the typical process for a looped animation. Now I'm going to export this animation and wait for it to complete. When that red box goes away, it's done. It doesn't appear to be any errors, so I'm going to reset the stage now. You need to reset the stage, and we're off to Second Life. Right, let's grab this, see what we get. Bunch of junk. Just make these 0 because no one really cares. Include joint positions necessary for this custom rig. Ooh. And don't worry about the animation in this thing here, because we're not using that animation. Yeah, so this topology is quite complex. It's a mess. I would never do this, but just for the sake of this tutorial, so I'm going to wear this. It may not even work out properly. Alright, so it's okay that way, but then I need the animation. You need your own animations. Alright, so it works. It's just really goofed up. Alright, good luck. Have fun.